Welcome back, everybody, to another gear review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the MTech USA Evolution Knife. Now, I have been seriously thinking, is it possible to get a cheap knife for the outdoors under $50 that is not a Mora and have it be quality or have it be acceptable for what it is? And I've seriously been thinking about that, and I've been doing a lot of looking around, and I came across this blade right here along with several others that you will be seeing. But today we're going to look at this guy. This guy just showed up in the mail. Give you a look here at the box. It's nothing too special. And they got a UPC right there. You know, made in China. It's nothing terribly special. Okay, let's cut the seal. Let's get this bad boy out. I'm curious to see what we got. Of course, it's going to be difficult to open. There we go. Oh. Alright. Oh, there's some documentation in here. So it's given us some specs: 10 inches overall, 5-inch blade, 5-inch handle, gray tinite coated stainless steel, 8CR13 stainless steel. That's a Chinese stainless steel. I did some research on it. If the heat treat is right, it might not be too bad. We will see. Cleaning and oiling. Blah, blah, blah. Storage. Okay. And this is a cheap sheath. But once again, I don't buy knives for the sheaths. I buy knives for the knife. Let's see if we can get this out. There we go. So there is the blade. It is a flat grind. It's pretty cool looking. This particular one, it's the model MTE FIX 006 BK, and the BK, I guess, is for black. Its listed price on Amazon is $18.19. After tax and everything, you know, it was a little over $19. So we're talking under 20 bucks here. So we will see. Can you get a knife for the outdoors for under $20 that isn't a complete piece of junk? I don't know. We're going to find out. You know, overall, it looks all right. The sheath, I don't think much of. You know, it's a stereotypical cheap Chinese nylon sheath. Nothing special. They don't even give you a sharpening stone. I knew that going in. But there is a pouch here for a stone. Well, yeah. Now, there's no way you could... Well, maybe. I'm going to say, nope. You're not going to be able to get an Altoids tin in there. It's too tight. But a sharpening stone, sure. It's somewhat molly set up. So you could put this on molly or a belt loop. I didn't see a listed weight for the blade, so we're going to weigh it here in a second. And, wait a minute, listed or package weight. Yeah, that's not the same thing. Okay. Let's get this in here, and let's check our weight. Man, it feels good in the hand. They're cheap plastic scales, but they got a good shape to them and a good feel. Alright. 8 ounces exactly. Wow. 226 grams. All right. Not too shabby. That's pretty light. And it's got decent thickness. I'm not going to say that the spine is 90 degree, but I'm able to shave with the back of the spine there off of my thumbnail, so it doesn't feel very sharp to me. But then again, I'm really picky on sharpness. It's got a nice little lanyard hole there. I like that it's got more of an exposed tang. You can use that to crush stuff like nuts and whatnot. Alright. Well, let me grab some paper here, and we're going to see just how sharp this is. Okay, I got some phone book paper here. It didn't feel sharp to my fingers, so yeah, it's not sharp. It's wanting to tear more than cut. I don't even think. I mean, I'm getting a few hairs. I don't know if you can see that. There's a few hairs on that blade. But honestly, this needs to be sharpened to come up to my standards. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera. I'm going to sharpen the blade real quick, and we'll go from there. Give it about 5 minutes of work with my Corona sharpener here, and it now has an edge that you can feel. It felt like there was a big old burr on there, because if you look, you can see the grind, the sharpening right there. When you flip it over, it's not as pronounced on this side. Now, once again, $20, you know, under 20 bucks for this knife, so it is what it is. Now it's cutting, but yeah, that's a little bit better. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I really need to work this thing over and get a really good edge on it. Good news is the steel that this is made of, the 8CR13, what it says right there on the hilt, is not super hard, so it's relatively easy to sharpen, and that's good and bad. That's good because when you need to sharpen it, you can sharpen it. It's bad because it means it's going to dull easier. But once again, it's under a $20 knife. You know, I'm thinking somebody who's on a extreme budget here. What I'm really curious about is, will this survive batoning? Let's be honest. It's an outdoor knife. Not everybody batons, but oh yeah, that's better. But I'm just curious, will it survive? Oh yeah, there we go. Finally, up to my standards. Alright, one other thing I wanted to point out. There is a plastic insert inside that sheath. Once again, cheap knife, I know. But when this knife goes in there and you snap down on this retainer, yeah, this is not stealthy at all. This is going to make a ton of noise. So, I don't know. Maybe you can get that insert out of there. I'll try to mess with that later. Alright, now we're going outside. Okay, so we got the stump here. I've got about a 2-inch piece of black walnut there. That's what, 4 centimeters, something like that. We got our MTech Evolution. We're going to see if it breaks. I'm wearing safety glasses in case the blade shatters or snaps. Let's do this. Let's make it a little easy. Let's go right like that. Get it started. Get it lined up. Okay. Oh, man, that walnut's hard. Yeah. I didn't mention it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit out here. It's kind of hot. But split that black walnut. As you can see, the bugs have been at it. Look at all the bug holes. Okay, it will baton. Let's see if we can baton a little bit more. Okay. Well, stood up to that. It's still in one piece. Alright, after the batoning, does it still have an edge? Yeah, it's still got an edge. Alright, okay, I have some very dry walnut here, and this is about 1 inch diameter or 2.5 centimeters. Let's see if we can do some cross batoning. Because if anything's going to mess it up, this will. Wow. Alright, let me see if there's... Well, I don't feel any or see any rolled edge or anything. And it sliced that off very nicely. Let's try some chopping and see where we get. Let me get my safety glasses on here. Alright, let's do it. Now this one knife is pretty light, so I don't know how good of a chopper it's going to be, but we're going to find out. Not terrible, but being as lightweight as it is, I suppose if you didn't have something to use as a hammer, you could make your way through some, and this is hard wood. This is hard. I'm not joking. Okay. Let me find some green wood and we'll do a little carving, shall we? Miscellaneous green wood. And we're going to see how this this carves. I managed to cut it off with the knife. So let's see. And this is very green. It's very soft. Because the only other stuff I got is all really super dry and super hard. So Well, it's still got a good edge to it. Yeah. Alright. Check that edge. You know, it's still got a working edge. It's definitely duller than it was when I sharpened it. But, it's definitely doable. For under 20 bucks. Can't get over that. Alright. Little light chopping on some soft green wood. Oh yeah. Yep. Let's check that spine and see if it's sharp enough to scrape a ferro rod. So I got my old ferro rod here, our MTech. See if we can do it. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. Spine is definitely sharp enough to strike a ferro rod. Got some dry dead wood here. Using this 90-degree spine, we're going to see if we can make some tinder. Oh yeah. Got a little pile there. Let's see if we can carve some feathers. I'm a little out of practice. Not too bad. Yeah, I can definitely use some more practice doing this. Back to basics, right? Oops, camera's falling. Yeah, that would work. Definitely got some tinder right there. Yep. You know, that's not too shabby for a $20. We used to call knives like this, cheap knives like this when I was a kid, gas station knives. Because you'd use it once or twice and it would break. This ain't bad at all for a gas station knife. Kind of impressive. Pop the scales off because I really wanted to see what they are, and they're injection molded plastic. You know, that's probably why this thing feels so light, because these feel like a feather. Now, pluses and negatives on that is they're not going to absorb any water or anything like that. But with this skeletonized design underneath to save on the amount of plastic they're using, if you're using this blade to clean game or fish, you can get blood under here, under these scales, and it can become rather unsanitary. So there is that. Upside is, with these in hand, I could go ahead and make a pair of scales for this knife quite easily using these as a template. So we can see that it is, without a doubt, full tang. Now, I cleaned the blade off, and you can see how much of the coating came off when we batoned that hard black walnut. And this coating supposedly is titanium nitride. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say. You know, overall, I'm pretty impressed for an under $20 blade. Wow. I mean, it's still got a little bit of an edge on it. Yeah. I'm not going to say that's super sharp, but there's definitely still an edge there. And what you didn't see is I was walking around the yard using that to cut stuff, suckers off of trees, you know, cut off certain big weeds, you know, at ground level, just all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I can't really bash this blade. If you were looking for something inexpensive that's not a Mora and under $50 that would work as an outdoor blade, this is it. Now, that 8CR13 steel, Chinese steel, when I was researching that, it's not a terrible steel. In fact, even Spyderco, I can't remember which Spyderco it is, but one of their folders is made with this steel. So it can't be too terrible, and, you know, it didn't break when I was beating the hell out of it. One thing I do want to note is in the sheath, I stuck that sharpener in there. There's plenty of room for it. You still got room that you can stick, make like maybe a little survival kit or something. And the other thing that I took a look at, remember how I said I wonder if I can get that out of there? Well, grab it with a pair of pliers and pull it out, and that's all it is. No wonder it rattles. So, another thing you could do if you didn't want to make a full Kydex sheath for this, make a Kydex insert for this blade part and either put it inside this and glue it up and stick it back in here. You could do that. I mean, that's the beauty of a cheap blade like this. You can customize it, you can do whatever you want. You don't have a lot of money in it. This would be perfect for, I carry an emergency bag in my truck. And right now, I got a Mora in it. Now, if somebody steals the bag, I'm going to be mad no matter what, because I hate thieves. But I'll be a little more upset that I lost a Mora, you know, in there. This is cheaper than a Mora. Would I be upset? Depends on how much I customized it. But I do think this is quite the option for someone. This choil, I can just barely kind of get my finger in there for some work. The scales, like I said, they're not terrible. They're plastic. I just wonder how durable the actual scales are. Like if they're on here and you were to drop this and it would land with the scales against a rock, would these break? I don't know. That's something to consider. But making a pair of micarta scales for this would be awesome. I mean, heck yeah, why not? So, that's all I got to say about the MTech Evolution Tactical. It impresses me. And for a sub $20 knife, I don't see how you can go wrong here. So buy it, don't buy it, recommend it to someone, send them this video. It's all up to you, the viewer. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later on out in those woods over there. Maybe playing with a cheap knife. I don't know. Have a good night.